In the past, I've shared the company of others that moved outside traditional paths. But this band of folks is by far the most exotic.
You looked at me as you said that. What are you trying to say, Sky?
Actually, you took it the wrong way around. You seem a bit more conventional than, say, Wildflower or Zoo.
The Guardian says that everyone hides a part of themselves, that they don't always look like what they really are.
I certainly hope that part's in there somewhere.
Look, I didn't mean to say... Anyway, I meant no offense to anyone, and I'll just leave it at that.
Yes? I'm a bit busy fiddling about with my thoughts. Ha! Marvels! You do have it! I truly wondered if your dragonfly would ever soar in the distant heavens. I'll make the changes immediately. None. And I am very good at remembering things. At least I think I am. I can't remember for certain. The map could lead anywhere, so we should let it. Well, let's see then. It must lead to where I was last, which would be the ideal place to go first. Keep an eye out. I don't know why my tracks were covered, but I do tend to incur the occasional death threat. Craters are remarkably unappreciated. This looks familiar. Keep going. I have the urge to build something. There are memories in the route we applied. Keep going. I see patterns, schematics. Keep going. I'll hammer it out. Almost there. Just a few more pieces to figure out. Our flight was great fun. Lots of explosions. But what does it mean? I think it's a clue. I hid something in my head because I was going to lose my memory, I think. One thing for certain, there was no destination. We ended where we began. The route was the important part. Let me show you what it inspired me to make. I'm not sure what it is, but it has a lever on it that is begging to be pulled. There's only one way to find out. Well, there's probably one or two, but who has time to dig an artillery trench? Here we go. And nothing. Right? We're not dead, I think. That is decidedly disappointing. I was expecting something. I must still need a part I can't remember. I need some time to think, to get my brain straightened out. This is most intriguing and infuriating. Give me some time. Off you go. I'll start planning some redesigns for the dragonfly. Maybe floats made of air bladders. Sheepskin, of course.
What? What do you want? What are you asking me for? You've got everything you need to make that flying machine go. So, let's go already. I'm looking forward to getting to the Imperial City. They've got the cheapest wine in all the Empire, and plenty of it. Why does it matter? I was born by my mother and sucked at her teat like every man. Well, like every man does with his mother. Anyway, by the time I was old enough to swing an axe, my father was dead and my mother disowned me. Of course, killing my father might have given her reason. I think she did it out of shame. My father beat me and my brother senseless, and made our lives miserable. Either way, that was the end of my childhood. I traveled a lot after that, begging for some things and taking the rest. Tough times, but not the worst. My axes and my wits kept me alive. You'd think a 7-year-old might be an easy target, but I soon learned just where to cut a man to make him squeal like a pig. Ah, those were the days. Meh.
Something's on your mind? Of course, I was just thinking about things. Gao richly deserved his death, but I'm not sure I ever really expected it to happen. I feel fine, but determined. Our work isn't done, but we've taken a small step by removing that stain upon the Empire's honor. Gao's slavers took my daughter, Pin Mei, and I was able to follow them. Fortunately, they didn't cover their tracks. I chased them down, trying to reach her. I was too late. Pin Mei was spirited, and I'm sure she fought them. I believe they decided she was too much trouble and killed her. 5 years old, and they ran her through. I found her dead by the roadside and stopped my pursuit. By the time I cared to continue my chase, the slavers were long gone. There are ways to track men who don't want to be found. It's all a matter of time and dedication. But why dwell on this? Gao is dead, and perhaps Pin Mei has found some peace. That's what really matters. That and what we still have to accomplish. You're right, but we have to pick our time, and now isn't it. We can talk about this later. I only spent enough time in Tian's Landing to learn the location of Gao the Greater's stronghold. It's a nice enough place, though they're still adjusting to the flooding of the old town some years ago. Always happy to help.
The way is clear to the Imperial City. You need only to speak to our mad friend Kang, and he will prepare the flyer. That is an old wound. My departure from the Lotus Assassins was not gentle for either side. My immediate companions, those who were my brothers, fell by my hand. Lim was not among them. He would have died if he was. I was labeled as the one who deserted, and I am occasionally recognized. The result is always the same. Another death, more blood spilled. Such a waste for a hatred they cannot even understand. Regret. I have no regret for killing anyone who challenged me of their own will. Death is a measurable cost of your actions. Some earn it sooner than others. Strength is the way of things, and death is the end. Or should be. Some do not respect either. They have enough of one to defy the other. There is a place for the enforcer. The man or woman who brings death to those who have earned or otherwise deserve it. I consider that to be an honest calling. I did some harsh things while with the Lotus Assassins, but they no longer follow a path I recognize. They are a mirror of Death's hand, and he embodies corruption. You will see as you get close to him. He draws out the worst in everyone and displays it for all to see. You have no concept of the devotion of his followers. Perhaps we will talk again when I see more of where your path will lead you. For now, we should make our way to the Imperial City. That is where they took your master, and where we will find the heart of the Lotus Assassins. You have your map and your flyer is ready to go. I don't know what else you want to do here. I suggest we get on our way as soon as possible. I'm not really looking forward to getting back to the Imperial City, but it appears both of our paths lead there. Goodbye, then.
Thank you again for rescuing me from those things. I owe you my deepest gratitude. Is there some way I can be of assistance? As I mentioned, I am but a simple bun master, with a dear wife who has turned my life into a miserable cesspool devoid of humor and excitement. Bless her soul. My wife ensures that I work very hard every day to become the best bun master in the Imperial City, perhaps the best in all the Empire. Though I was one of the most respected fighters in the Empire before I met my precious bride, she made sure that I became something more, or less. As I mentioned before, my style requires that I drink. She detests drinking, though there are things she detests even more, like talk of us separating. My loving wife would knead me into several small dumplings and boil me in hot oil if she suspected I was even speaking to you about leaving her. Life is not all bad, though. I may have lost all my dignity and self-respect, along with my ability to fight, or even make a tight fist. But I am a bun master of some renown. I would sooner return to the cannibals and offer them what little flesh is left on my bones. But let's not discuss such things, if you don't mind. As you wish. I will be here waiting impatiently if you require anything.
That's it. You have everything you need. Just let me know when you want to go, and we'll set the marvelous dragonfly to flight. Good, good. My beautiful dragonfly will finally get a real test. Let's hope those modifications hold up.
Have you seen anyone matching the description? The Lotus Assassins are getting impatient.
They were very vague and wouldn't answer my questions. Are they even sure of who they are looking for?
Does it matter? Death's Hand himself seeks this one. Do you need any more incentive than that? Just question everyone. This person apparently caused a lot of damage in the south. Here, what about this one? At least it's a man, like they said. You, identify yourself.
By order of the Emperor and the Lotus Assassins, state your name and purpose for being in the Imperial City.
We are questioning everyone who has arrived in the city recently. You bear a resemblance to someone we are looking for.
I don't know. The young looks, the tunic is similar as well. It's not enough to be sure.
We could hold him anyway. It's not a good match, but the Lotus Assassins would leave us be for a few days while they question him.
Is there a problem here, Captain? Well, is there?
No, Princess Lian. We were questioning this traveler by order of the Lotus Assassins.
There is no need to pursue this questioning any further. You may go.
My apologies, Princess, but I was ordered to detain anyone even vaguely matching.
Captain, this man is here on a personal matter of mine that does not concern you. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Princess Lian.
Then unless you wish to be transferred to the wall, you will leave and continue your search. Well, we meet again. I've watched your progress. It seems I underestimated you in Tian's Landing. I have no doubt that you will make as much of an impact on the Imperial City. No guise, I assure you. You have the honor of addressing Princess Lian, the Heavenly Lily. It is, as you can see, customary to bow in my presence. Somehow I did not expect you to kowtow so quickly. Or maybe I just hoped you wouldn't. I get so tired of fawning servants. That is why I often travel without official escort and occasionally present myself as someone less bridled by the rules of the court. You understand why I don't go into detail here in the street, don't you? With what I have to tell you, I don't want to lose that option of disguise. Not here. I trust my personal assistants to keep their tongues, but this matter is best discussed in private. I will not speak the location aloud. Take this note. We will meet nearby, but I must have a moment to acquire more fitting attire. I have no doubt I have questions for you as well. Hopefully we will both be able to find the answers we need. Don't be too long. My message concerns your master, and time is very important.
It would not have been proper for her to award it to you herself, but Princess Sun Lian requests that you accept this gift. She looks forward to your next meeting.
What a wondrous flyer you have. You don't see any of that design about the city. Since they became more common among the nobles, flyers have been fascinating to me. Allow me to officially welcome you to the Imperial City. I am Bai, the Outcrier, and I am here to direct you around our illustrious capital if you have any questions at all. It would be an honor to say that I aided someone who was greeted by Princess Sun Lian herself. There are several districts within easy walking distance. This area is the market district, and it is filled with all sorts of merchants and traffic. If you cross the waterway and turn left, you will soon come to the Gate of the Golden Way, a rich and luxurious place. The Golden Way is connected to both the Scholar's Garden at its far end and the necropolis, though no one would venture into those burial grounds without good reason. The Scholar's Garden is a wonder to behold. It is decorated with rocks taken from the Valley of Sprightly Stones. The finest minds in the Empire congregate in the garden. If you have a taste for history, the necropolis is accessible from the Golden Way as well. A city of the dead, the necropolis is filled with tombs of rich and poor alike. If you were wise, you would not look for the Lotus Assassins. They keep their secrets close, and even spreading rumors can catch their attention. How many travelers wander too close to their lair from simple ignorance, I wonder? There are rumors of a secret entrance into a fortress the Lotus Assassins call their own. The entrance may be in the necropolis, which is off the Golden Way. If you're smart, you'll go no closer to that place than this question. A pleasure to be of service. Enjoy your stay here.
Be on the lookout for the Scourge of the South. It is your duty as citizens of the Empire to report anyone who matches this description. Keep an eye out for a young man dressed in plain blues and greens. He is heavily armored from head to foot. Reports suggest he is well over 7 feet tall and fully armed. This man is very dangerous. Do not try to apprehend the Scourge of the South, but instead report what you've seen to the authorities immediately.
Well, all these years together, and I never suspected you were the Scourge of the South. I'm sorry. I know it's not funny. At least they didn't get your looks right.
My mom says the Emperor is a great man for stopping the drought.
The Scourge of the South has destroyed whole villages in the south. Many innocents have suffered at the hands of the Scourge. Out of sheer spite, the Scourge flooded ancient ruins.
Where are those mercenaries? Greetings, citizen. Imperial Captain Sen at your service. Are you one of the mercenaries come to help me track down some criminal scum? I was told that there were some new warriors in town looking for work, though none of them matched your description. Admittedly, you don't resemble the ones described to me, but they're several days late. No doubt they'll blame it on the foolish ghost stories. Criminals with lucrative bounties on their heads. I need help tracking down a pair of criminals. Are you interested in a little well-paying work? These two scoundrels have eluded my best efforts, so I'm turning to bounty hunters. It's harder to run when your pursuers are not in a uniform.
I see no problem hunting down criminals, so long as we don't draw too much attention to ourselves.
I'm searching for an arsonist and a notorious confidence man. Find and eliminate either one, and there's a standard bounty in it for you. A wise decision. The two criminals are Fading Moon and Creative Yukong. Fading Moon is an arsonist who was last spotted heading for the necropolis. Creative Yukong has virtually disappeared, though we may be able to learn something from Lady Rento, the wife of the man Yukong bilked. She's in the Imperial arena. Fading Moon is an arsonist. Her first fires were in the poor quarters, but her last one spread to the Market District Gate. Last we heard, she'd escaped to the necropolis. Well, as I said, she confined them to the poor districts. She would have been impossible to catch in that rat's nest. More frankly, there isn't enough money to make it worth my effort. The gates between here and the poorer districts will be closed for some time while repairs are underway. There's nothing particular about the scene of the crime, just ash. Yukong fleeced some silver from Lord Rento, a powerful man in the Ministry of Harmony. Yukong is a master of disguise, and he has hidden himself somewhere in the city. Lord Rento is away on court business, but his wife informed me that she'd be in the heart of the Empire in the Imperial arena if we needed her. You could start there. She knows the details of the theft better than I. Lord Rento was reluctant to discuss them. Yukong could be anywhere or anyone, and Lady Rento is the only lead we have. Right you are. Remember to keep an eye out for anyone suspicious.
The Scourge associates with nefarious fox spirits, aiding them in their occupation of our once pristine forests in the south.
That's why my men brought you to me. I wanted to finish this personally.
But
Don't even try to make this better. You should have won that fight, Zhang, but you suddenly developed that blind spot, didn't you? Did the glint of silver get in your eye?
Joe, honestly,
You needed something for to witness one?
Yes, I need to speak with you in private. It seems Warrior Zhang has decided to retire.
I'm finished here. If you're here to fight, do what they tell you. You couldn't see for yourself? I was just retired from the Imperial Arena. Guess my spot in the roster is yours if you want it. Go find Kui the promoter if you think you can fill my shoes. He's always upstairs in the third room over or so, and looking for new blood. I'm taking what I have left from my winnings and leaving.
Welcome! It's always good to see a new face at the counter. If you've got silver to spend, I'll be happy to help you out. I'm known as Thunderous Tauren, and you are my most honored customer right now, so you have all of my attention. The man to see is named Kui the Promoter. He knows everything there is to know about this place. Might even be looking for a new body to fill out the roster. This could be your chance. If you're interested, he's usually up in his office, up and around to the back. You look like a warrior to my eye, probably not fit for the odds and sods the usual patrons might pick up. Stop by again. Miniature Ravager hoods for the kids are coming in any day now. You know you'll want two.
Remember Jingwu back in Two Rivers? He talked of fighting in the Imperial Arena one day. He would have done well.
Ukir okir wo napiair ukir sotiwi. So Ukair otonoai nisun puno asir sun kut. Sisairi furt was air napsan kir uksayernan wo nawair sun punao. So
Ukayir otonoair, nisun puno, asir tsunkut. Nano wo, nawaftata sini here, uk uno. Ukir okir wo napiair, ukir sotiwi. Wo ipsoko anir, sumsiir fino. Sair an nikufunir, aknat nir sawir pika. Nano wo nawaftata sini here, uk uno. Ayer fring chiki.
Either grab a table or ask the tavern keeper directly if you want to order.
How dare you interrupt me? If you must know, I, Lustful Lao, conqueror of the female kingdom, was emanating my yang. It is but one of my many irresistible charms. You don't see my brimming knowledge of the 232 points of pleasure as documented by Menshi Zhao, the salacious scholar? Or that I perform the stretches outlined in the writings of the now disbanded lascivious order of the abbotless monks every morning? If even these simple things are beyond your ken, sir, then Lustful Lao has no time to spare on you. You return once again to interrupt Lustful Lao, master of the Eye of Beckoning, lord of the billowing sheets? That's exactly what I intend to do. Now leave me, and don't stand between that waitress and me. You'll disturb the harmonies I've established.
Go find someone else to bother.
I was wondering if you'd wander over here to test your luck. It's hard to resist the rattling call of the dice, isn't it? Gambler Daoshen's the name. I run the straightest dice in the Imperial City. I wouldn't want to feed my children with tarnished silver, would I? Good odds and fair play. That's how I keep them coming back. You're not here to play? What did you want to talk to me for, then? You take care of yourself and come back soon to the best game in the city.
I'm grabbing a drink as soon as I get off shift.
Sorry, big boy. I'm not open for business. Judge Fang's got me on his payroll, and he doesn't like me taking customers on the side. Unless you're into something twisted, then he might want to watch. Fang's always looking for some new perversion to make his little soldier stand at attention. Judge Fang's the head of the Ministry of Harmony. He's sitting in the next room with his guards, likes to come and watch the arena fights. The blood and the beatings in the ring get his fever burning for later. Sometimes that bastard takes it out on me. Other times he makes me take it out on him. He doesn't seem to care either way. There are few things more twisted than Judge Fang's idea of a fun night. I hate him. He's a vile, repulsive deviant. He likes to hurt. When things are bad, a man like that leaves scars. Emotional and physical. Look, I've been around. I know people do strange and disturbing things behind locked doors. but nothing like this. There's no act too brutal or shameful for Judge Fang. He's into all sorts of things, and he's no stranger to pain. I know that all too well. I've thought about quitting. Every night. But I heard what happened to the last girl who tried to leave Fang. He's not the kind of man you just walk away from. He sees me as a possession. His possession. He's not just going to let me go. He's got the wealth and power to find me wherever I run. I'm stuck with Judge Fang until he's tired of me. I've come to accept that. It's a hard, grim fact, but at least he pays well. Go ahead. It's not like I'm going to tell you anything that isn't common knowledge. My name is Gentle Breezes, but everyone just calls me Breezes now. I guess you lose your gentle side when you spend too many nights with Judge Fang. Fang's my benefactor, if you know what I mean. I do all the things that make him happy. Filthy, nasty things. But at least that sick bastard pays well. Judge Fang's the blood in the... He doesn't seem to care either way. There are few things more twisted than Good. Let me rest. I've got a feeling I'm in for a long night tonight.
Whoa, back up a bit there. Judge Fang doesn't like people blocking his view of the arena. Yeah, you might make him miss out on seeing someone get their nose broken or their leg or even their skull. He was just saying that there hasn't been a good skull fracture for at least a week. It's put him in a foul mood. Not without an appointment, and his schedule's full for the next month. All the ministers are coming in from the outlying towns to make their reports. If he's not meeting with a minister, he's relaxing here, hoping to see somebody beaten to a quivering pulp in the ring, or maybe torn apart by one of the animals. Yeah, that or he's taking a break with Breezes. Poor girl. No amount of silver is worth what she does for him. I wouldn't call him sick and twisted. That's an insult to sick and twisted people everywhere. Fang's on a whole other level. I never used to believe the stories, but now that I'm working for him, I can honestly say he's the most degenerate and perverted man in the whole Empire. But he pays well, very well. Enough so that we pretend not to see what's going on, though I still feel bad for Breezes sometimes. Gentle Breezes. She's Fang's, concubine. She's over in the next room with the common folk. Fang doesn't like to be seen with her in public. He, doesn't mind her getting up close and personal when they're in private, though. The things she does for him. Forget it. I won't go into details about what Fang did to the last guard he caught taking bribes, but restraints, starving dogs, and gravy on certain parts of the body were involved. Fang watched the whole thing, laughing all the while, and when it was done, he went upstairs with Breezes for a little relaxation. Poor girl. Good idea. Come back next month. Fang might be taking appointments by then.
Wuwuwir wakwakir fonir sisa ukopkipo kusu ukut. Kwanak apiyir, kwanaruk tatisiyir si usta. The kawa ir ap ofir wowowir wak fonui unka. Yawar ir wo swair susu no. Utarawi ir kupkitir sanir naur kurk wu pan. Kop awuka inir wo afawafi ithaturo turo uk. Kop awuka inir wo afawafi ithaturo turo uk. The kawa ir ap wo ofir wo wir wak fonui unka. Utarawi ir kupkitir sanir naur kurk wu pan. Wuyo ir naur ir kunurk nuka uk kin piir ukir ifu ir wu. Kop awuka inir u afawafi ithaturo turo uk.
Another pathetic gawker here to bask in the glory that is Iron Soldier, the Silver Division champion? What in all the Empire do you want? Questions? I'm going to waste my time on a pathetic dirt kicker like yourself? Not a chance. And please, don't bother firing yourself up to challenge me out of some fool notion of pride. Things aren't done that way here. The guards stop all fighting unless it happens in the pit, or they want it to happen.
It must be hard working yourself into that foul a temper each day.
If you hate pretty much everyone, it's easy enough. Just leave me alone. I don't talk to spectators.
Hello there. I'm Han, though fans and, well, everyone else call me Hapless Han. It's not such a bad thing. Fighting in the lower divisions means I never run afoul of the Ravager. Our current champion has nearly killed his last two opponents. See, I look on the bright side of things. Even if my losses make people call me hapless, are numbers really that important? In my mind, it's trying your best that counts. You know, looking at you, I'd say you could hold your own in the arena. Are you thinking of signing up, or was there something else you need? You need to talk to Kui, the promoter. He'll start you out. It'll be great to have someone new around the place. You're new to this arena, aren't you? I'm happy to help you out. Do you want to know how to sign up, or are you just curious about the events? Every warrior here starts out in the qualifying round, where they face a lot of the hopefuls. If you're doing well, you'll end up facing me. After that, there are the bronze, silver, and gold divisions, each of which has its own champion and unique trials. I'm sure Kui the promoter can outline those for you. Right you are. Take care.
Fascinating. How very interesting to meet you. Fate may have robbed me of my sight at a young age, but I can still sense the energy within your meridians. Impressive, and yet somewhat strange. I don't know what it is about you exactly, but I would say you have been trained like no other warrior in this place. What I do know is that several of the techniques pioneered by what we call the new schools would have astonishing effects on one with your energy. Allow me a formal introduction. I am Dr. An, acupuncturist.
I think I've read a treatise of hers on the healing arts. It was one of the few we had in Two Rivers. It was brilliant. It is an honor to meet you, ma'am.
Such a beautiful voice, and combined with a quick mind. I'd hold on to her if I were you. Of course, have a look.
Intolerable. One more mistake, Kui, and I'll have you retired. Finding someone else is your problem. But enough! Find a solution and leave me alone.
This is not an approbate time to... Wait a moment. You have the look of a fighter about you. Those hands, that stance, even your eyes. I'd know that look anywhere. You must be here to join the most glorious contest in the Empire. Isn't it fortunate that Lucky Cho and I were just discussing how this place needs an M-fusion of new blood?
Master Li used to say that the arena was once the greatest contest in the Empire, but that it has been corrupted in recent years.
Come with me a moment, and we'll engagitate in some dissertation about the best decision you'll ever make. This is turning out to be an excellent day, most ostentatious indeed. I apologize if I'm using words beyond your grasp. Very few people can match either the supply or the command of my language. Strong build, good shoulders, not half bad looking either. You've got what it takes to make it in today's arena. The question is, can you fight? Are you worthy of the arena? I say the answer is a clarion and resounding yes. I've heard that you were asking around and talking to some of our best and brightest. Your interest tells me all that I need to know about you. What say we get you signed up for the greatest attraction in all the Empire? The arena awaits. That's the spirit of the thing. Now, what name precedes you in your travels? Right, a fine name indeed. But it won't sell, not at all. We need something more memorable for the crowds. Think of something that would sound engaging, ringing down from the rafters. That's how we'll bill you. Raging Dragon, huh? Sounds fast and powerful. I like it. Are you positive that's what you want? Then that is what you shall have. Come and tell me when you're ready for a fight, and I'll get you started. Since you're new, you'll start in the qualifying rounds. The money's small at that level, but it's there. Any other questions? One other thing. You should talk to the other fighters now and then. They will be watching you, and you should get to know them as well.
We're all one big happy family.
You're a big happy idiot, Han.
As you can see, they always have something to say. For your first match, we'll start you off against a mighty ogre. I'll be watching your style closely to see how you fare. Impress me, and I'll take you to the top. Even our great champions start out against the ogre. Take Raging Ox, who danced around the beast singing drunkenly to earn the crowd's favor, or the Ravager, who defeated him in a single blow. I should take a moment and explain the system we use here. I like to keep things simple and organized. Any other way, and things get more convoluted than the celestial court on the Emperor's birthday. When you're ready for your match, ask me about it, and I'll give you a quick summary of your opponent. I'll be setting up your matches, of course. Various enchantments woven in this place keep the fights from being deadly, but they're no less real. You'll feel the pain if you don't keep your defense up. Are you ready to get started? If that's the decision you want to make, it's your profanation. You just let me know when you've changed your mind. I must say, I'm disappointed. You're ready to start your career, but you walk away. Insuspicious beginnings, my friend.
Don't you just love the Imperial Arena? No other place like it in all of the Jade Empire. Hold on, you're a Raging Dragon, aren't you? I've heard all about you. It's a pleasure. I'm Lady Rento. Oh, poor Yukong. Captain Sen's still willing to do my husband's bidding and hunt him down, is he? I swear, my husband is insufferable. Yukong's a harmless aspiring actor who asked me if I would act as his patron. Since my husband was away from the city, again, I accepted and gave Yukong a moderate stipend. I thought he was charming. Probably less than my husband is putting forth as a bounty for poor Yukong. That young man doesn't deserve this. That was how my husband presented the situation to the authorities. He didn't want to face the shame of supporting a humble actor. My husband's a fool, but when he lowers his head, all I can do is let him charge and hope he rams something solid enough to slow him. I would wager that you'll find him in the Scholars' Garden. Yukong was going to try out for that new play. It's going to be put on soon in the Golden Way, I'm told. Should be exciting to watch. Yukong was going to try out for a role as a scholar, so he may be using his costume to hide in the garden. He's not much of a scholar, so you should be able to spot him. If you happen to find creative Yukong, do go easy on him, would you? The poor boy did nothing wrong, and my husband is being unusually cruel to him. Good luck with your search. I have to get back to the estate, so much to do.
Thawir nis tu kuiruk. Ayer fun. Soir wu nisir tintina yewir. Uksir watuafu ni yefroto usosawir. Uktatasir ni ryoki. Ukwiro ni sayir tatasir yu. Won nawir sir fu ni winyanakan. Tir nik puntuir. Poir nokauk. Sayir takitir noni. Uksir, wat tuafu, froetro soir, fuarir, nsonsi, noka uk frotir noni. Uktatasir ni ryoki, ka sisayir na wur awukategi. Onu yuir indikan sun puir anuk pakuk, ono yusayir. Oksayir caritas fonir sisayir ir furk tatasir, ir karanos sakupono. Wo ifuir uk sunurk danowe na waf tatasiruk, kitir nonni nikuyo ipir ta. Wono wir ifuir uk wasaf no sisitu. Kwawir ni sisir sisitu kun, wano sisitu nik on wipifir. Woyo wir Shakespeare, woso.
If you must pester one of us, then make it my brother, Sung Bo.
I want to hear that you're ready for your next fight. What do you need? For your first match, we'll start you off against a mighty ogre. I'll be watching your style closely to see how you fare. Impress me, and I'll take you to the top. Even our great champions start out against the ogre. Take Raging Ox, who danced around the beast singing drunkenly to earn the crowd's favor, or the Ravager, who defeated him in a single blow. I've already explained how things work around here. Do you need me to go over it again? That's the spirit. Dive right in with both feet first. It's not that difficult a system, and you seem bright enough to figure it out. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me, and we'll get you ready for your next match.
A new warrior does battle with the Beast.
That was an impressive beginning. Normally, I'd have started you off against something easier, but you practically ooze potential. You've caught the eyes of the other fighters as well. Go ask them if you don't believe me.
That really was a fantastic bout!
Beating the ogre's nothing special. I could have done better bound and blinded.
Sometimes you don't even need to ask. One fight does not make a champion, though. There are many more opponents ahead of you. Let's move on, shall we? Since you held your own against the ogre brute last time, I'm going to try something exciting for the crowd. I've got 4 boys from some school west of the city who've been bothering me for some tougher matches. I'm giving you all of them at once. It'll wow the crowd and teach them a lesson at the same time. Remember to watch your sides and back. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
Four students test their skills against one master.
Those boys won't be back anytime soon. Losing as a group to one opponent would shame a peasant, let alone a student of the martial arts. The crowd's starting to catch on to you. Have you noticed? People like you, and now I'm going to make sure they pay attention. I'm going to have a roughly hewn statue hauled into the ring. I want you to discombobulate it. Destroy the statue quickly enough, and I'll give you a shot at hapless Han. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
Unyielding stone meets the press of time.
Legendary strike. Horse demon form. Legendary strike.
Excellent work. You have bested time itself in destroying that statue. No mean feat, I assure you. I think you're ready to face hapless Han. Show me you're ready for the big time and I'll make sure you don't have to dance with the children anymore. Are you ready to get started? Excellent. Follow me and we'll get you ready for your next match.
A chance to leave the qualifying division as Raging Dragon faces Hapless Han. Ha!
You dealt with Han very well. I knew you would. All of our professional fighters move past him eventually.
Kui, that will be enough. I bring you a message from my employer, Kai Lan the Serpent. He is impressed with how far you have come in such a short while. The Serpent wants you to know that he is watching your progress very closely. He is most interested to see how you fare in the Bronze Division. Kui, you may breathe again. That is all I had to say.
Well, that was good, I think. He has a distinct interest in the proceedings here. He is the next champion, you see. He retired some time ago, even before Raging Ox, who was the champion before the Ravager. Kai Lan couldn't leave the arena alone, though. He has become a very important man here with the help of a group called the Guild. Lucky Cho is a thug, pure and simple, but he's very good at what he does. He's also a member of the guild and reports directly to Kai Lan. Kai Lan oversees things here in the arena, and the guild ensures that the authorities leave us in peace. The guild is the organization that controls all of the betting in this place. That gives them considerable sway. It is good that they are happy with your progress. Between us, the guild is also involved in more illicit activities. They are very sensitive about remaining an open secret. Many know about them, but few acknowledge that fact. Right now is a particularly dangerous time, as one of the leaders of the guild has recently been inhumed. Kai Lan sees this as an opportunity. Do not discuss them openly. The guild has many ears. You may ask some of the others in the arena about them if you wish, but I would not bring it up to just anyone. A wise decision. Very wise. For the sake of your career, I suggest that you limit any questions you have to your fellow fighters.
Well done! That fight was much better than this wine. With all the pure water pouring from the palace, you'd think they might have learned how to make wine that didn't taste like goat piss.
Black Whirlwind, that is you. Are you back to...
No, just here visiting, and making sure nothing happens to your newest fighter.
So you won't be...
No, leave it alone, Kui. You know better than to bring this up. Just mind your business, promoter, and I'll mind mine.
You travel in curious company. Regardless, when you're ready, come talk to me again and we'll discuss your next match. I know him, yes, but I know better than to contravigate his wishes. If you want to talk about it, ask him. I'm staying out of it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must prepare for your entry into the Bronze Division. It will take me a bit of time before you'll be ready for your next fight. You should talk to the other fighters here. They've been watching you and are getting nervous. Of course, I'll need more time than that for these preparations. It's just a matter of preparing the proper documents. Why don't you kill the time by making your way out into the city? See the sights. Maybe visit the Golden Way or the Scholar's Garden. Actually, that reminds me. A woman was here watching your fight against Hapless Han, dressed all in black and veiled. She seemed impressed with your preference. Just before she left, she told me to tell my new fighter that she was still waiting to see you. She said you'd know where. Sounds like quite the invitation.
Uktatasir ni Ryoki, ka sisayir na work awukatayi. Uksiyir wa tuafu ni yefroto usosawir, uktatasir ni Ryoki. Kwawir uyu itarir noka sisayir na workut, wo nisirwir u nokatakuna fifir. Wo you wear Shakespeare, woso.
You look a shade better than the usual cowardly dogs we get through here. Just a shade, though. So you've earned the right to talk to me. Lucky you. Iron Soldier's the name, though everyone just calls me Soldier. You may as well do the same. You ground the hapless one beneath your feet like everyone else does, huh? Han's pathetic for wasting time on the hopefuls, if you ask me. Then again, watching Han stumble to Dr. On every time he tries to handle the real Bronze Division fights is one of the most entertaining things about this place. I don't pay attention to the Bronze Division. Who has time for all the hopefuls and their empty dreams? Now go on and leave me alone. We've got nothing to talk about. Good. Go bother someone else.
Boy, that sure was something. I wouldn't have wanted to be me out there, except that I was. But I learned so much from facing you. Next time I should try some of that fancy stuff you do. I'm not exactly sure how you did it, though. You know, that's a good idea. I tend to focus on myself more than others. Perhaps I can learn some new tricks. Thanks for the encouragement. All the contestants know about the guild. They are the real power here. Keep your voice low. We don't want Lucky Cho to hear us talking about this. I don't know about the guild itself, but around here the man in charge is named Kai Lan the Serpent. He's a powerful magician and incredibly deadly in battle. Retired Imperial champion, in fact. I never have to deal with Kai Lan. I'm not good enough to compete with the big players, so he isn't interested in me. I prefer it that way. It's not that open, but Lucky Cho and Kai Lan don't bother to hide their actions much. I wonder if the rest of the guild appreciates them being that open. As to why the Empire tolerates them, I know of at least one promising fighter who went off to join the Lotus Assassins not too long ago. It was like they recruited him after seeing what he could do here. Maybe there's some arrangement that makes the Lotus Assassins overlook this place. It's always nice of you to stop by and chat. A lot of people who move past me in the arena never look back.
While I cannot see you, your appearances are hard to ignore. Welcome again. Hapless Han stumbled in here for yet another treatment after you defeated him. Impressive handiwork, though I find myself in a position to wish you were less skilled, especially with Han. He is a continual strain on my time. I think you misunderstand the situation. I have no problems treating Han, but I receive no compensation for tending to injuries. I shouldn't complain, though. The arena pays me to look after you fighters, and Han's constant injuries have helped me hone my healing skills to a razor edge. I'm afraid I can't help you. I know all the fighters, but I'm not at liberty to discuss them. I'm certain you understand the ethics at stake. My knowledge of their strengths and weaknesses would be a weapon in the wrong hands. Of course, have a look.
Now is not a good time to speak with me. You may try my brother, Bo.
The brothers Sung greet our fellow combatant warmly. I am Sung Bo, this is my little brother Bu, and my older brother Sui.
Do not bother me. Introductions merely clutter the mind.
I don't think they was bothering you, Sui. It's Bo being talked to.
Han falls to your strikes, as have so many before. Now that you have entered the Bronze Division, we shall see how you truly fare. Now, what did you need? We can tell you to be careful whom you ask about such things. Secrets kept in the open are the most sensitive.
The serpent who dwells in the shadows of this place. Like an air spirit, he is everywhere and yet invisible to the eye.
Brother Sui puts it well. Kai Lan the Serpent is the guild's will in this place, powerful enough that only the brave or foolish discuss him at any length. Besides running the most expansive betting operation in the Empire, I speculate that they do much more than that, but we have been smart enough not to find out. We question things in the arena, though. For example, why are we allowed to fight as one body when the rules suggest such a thing should be illegal? The guild cares more for a good show than fair play. Good shows keep the bet money flowing, especially if a favored fighter were to suddenly and surprisingly lose.
I agree. I don't want them around anymore. They scare me.
If you let fear guide your decisions, Brother Bu, you will find that you have walked the coward's path.
Philosophy aside, the Empire certainly could wipe them out. But wouldn't another similar organization appear? Regardless, if something could be done, the Empire would have done it already. A wise choice. The guild always prefers that people not speak of them. Now, what do you need to know? You have earned the right to ask about your peers. Would you like to know about Soldier, or our current champion, the Ravager?
There is something unnatural about that one.
He smells bad, too. Like he's sick all the time or something.
Though my brothers sound like offended courtesans, they have a point. We can't deny the Ravager's abilities, but he lacks precision. Strength is part of his technique. In fact, he may be the strongest fighter here in years. Stronger even than Raging Ox, our last champion. The Ravager's prowess lies in his incredible stamina. Blows that would fell lesser men are like the bite of a gnat to him. If you face him, use your strongest techniques. It seems unfair, does it not? However, you must ask yourself if you wish to be beheaded instantly when you consider this topic. Let us put it this way. Individually, each of us is an excellent warrior, fast, strong, or smart as it may be. When we faced the Ravager individually, he beat us quite handily. Word spread that the Ravager boasted that he could beat all of us together. And so we accepted. He was victorious. Those who guide this arena were so pleased with the spectacle that they created a new challenge. Us. The thought was that anyone who couldn't defeat the brothers Sung would be obliterated by the Ravager. I'm sure we have saved more than a few lives. I prefer not to give that impression, but we have been placed in this situation by the Ravager, whose deadly nature requires our presence. In time, perhaps, that will change. We will see. Fighting as a group is not so bad. We provide a unique challenge for higher-level fighters, and fighting this way has its incentives. Suffice it to say that the Serpent makes it worth our while to fight as a group. You would benefit as well, if you could beat us. Would you like to know about Soldier, or our current champion, the Ravager? Ah, there's a mysterious one. He left the Imperial Army under circumstances. His skills quickly earned him a high rank in this contest. I expect he saw things during his time of service that would blanch the ever-rosy face of Jolly Ying Sun the Intoxicated. And yet, pretty Lili is always hanging off him. We have often speculated why she is so interested in him, but such things are not fit for polite discussion. Oh yes, we shall see you around. Of that you can be sure.
Do you have any idea how many people I have to keep fed in a day?
Careful around the fire. Don't want to get scorched, do you?
Ok wiwu ofir, san kasawir wo sir tana.
The Imperial City. I'd always heard how impressive it was. Stories didn't do it justice. This is all so much to absorb. I would appreciate your counsel if you have time to speak privately. I don't mean to distract you. I just wanted someone familiar around me for a moment, if only to reassure me that we are still in the Empire I thought I knew. I have long dreamed of reaching the Imperial City, but now that I have, under these circumstances, I am more overwhelmed than ever. But that's what is bothering me. We can't be a long way from home because our home is gone. I can no longer say that what I see is strange or foreign because I have lost what I would have compared it to. I am the one out of place now. I would like that. To know you will be there no matter what. I've never had that stability. At least not before joining the school. As a child, I was marked by ill omens, apparently named for them. The people in Two Rivers were polite, but many did not hide the discomfort I caused them. I was watched, studied. If someone's ox died within a season of me bumping my head, it was somehow my fault, and I was treated like a pariah. How do you deal with being able to sense the spirit world when people make such absurd conclusions? I cannot change who I am, I know. Perhaps I just have to let all of that go. It will not be easy. But I do feel that you have given me a strength I did not have before. I very much appreciate your support. We should continue this discussion later. I have much to think about, and our work here has only just begun. The Imperial City. I never dreamed I would reach it. Don't go too far. I'd get lost in this city. I know it.
Owo sayir uyukap wo tarawayir shatir owo.
Good day, citizen. Some minor thing I can help you with? It's the Honorable Lotus Assassins, you see. They feel that those of us dedicated to the Imperial Army are nothing more than louts to be ordered about. Any member of the army, even city guard, is expected to defer any major disturbances to them. Makes me about as useful as a lamppost. This area is known as the Market District. Predictably, plenty of merchants set up their shops around here, and it's usually bustling. On the north side of the district is the Imperial Arena. The heart of the Empire Tavern in the upper level is a nice place to relax. What else? Oh, yes. There's the Black Leopard School up on the hill on the south side. Lots of skilled warriors get their start there. What district are you looking for? The Golden Way is through a gate in the southeast corner of this district, just up a broad flight of steps that lead up from a courtyard. The garden is just off the Golden Way, so you need to head there first. One of the guards in there can take you the rest of the way if you need. The Golden Way is through a gate in the southeast corner of this district, just up a broad flight of steps that lead up from a courtyard. To reach the necropolis, you need to go to the Golden Way first. Once there, you can ask another guard, if you're still lost. To reach the Golden Way, go into the pavilion on the north side of the garden and make your way through the rooms of illumination. When you reach the large wooden pavilion, exit its west side and proceed down the hill to the south. Be about your business and stay out of trouble. Pleasure to be of service.
Look at this place, so many people. This truly is the heart of the Empire.
Is it fun beating up people in the arena? I don't think I'd like that.
Hold on there. This way leads into the necropolis, a dangerous area. You shouldn't go in there unless you have some business there. Ghosts have been rising up everywhere in the Empire, I've heard. So many have come up in the necropolis that it just isn't safe anymore. It would take an army of us to clear them out, if we could do it at all. We can't even safely post a guard in there. We just warn people away. The Lotus Assassins want everyone kept away as well. First time I've heard of them being altruistic. Things have been bad over the past few, let's say 5 years. No one has any idea why so many of the dead refuse to return to the Wheel of Life peacefully. All we know for sure is that they're not happy. Not happy at all. Ghosts have been rising up everywhere in the Empire, I've heard. So many have come up in the necropolis that it just isn't safe anymore. It would take an army of us to clear them out, if we could do it at all. We can't even safely post a guard in there. We just warn people away. The Lotus Assassins want everyone kept away as well. First time I've heard of them being altruistic. Bad. Real bad. Monks used to go in every few weeks to clean out the ones who had risen. But lately it's become too much for them to handle. You look like a warrior. I'm sure you know that even if you disperse a ghost in combat, they reform again eventually. It takes a long time, but it's inevitable. Leave the dead to their own is what I say. Just block the whole place off and start again somewhere else. Stay away from the necropolis. It's dangerous.
Your appearance and manner of dress are insufficient to determine gender.
Your parentage is below average, and your ancestry is of questionable worth. You dress yourself in the manner of a common laborer. Nobody's paying any attention.
Keep trying, just as I instructed.
Your physique seems exceptional. Clearly you are a peasant. A noble could afford sloth. Your breath is like the wind of an ox. Your last meal was of suspect quality. Your beliefs are superficial, and your culture is substandard.
You are right to demand an explanation. Forgive my servant. I instructed him to find someone not distracted by mere insults, someone who would command respect. Your demand for justification of his arguments was admirable. You are exactly what we need. An outlander strolled into the city several days ago and now sits like a cormorant taking what he wants from the river of our hospitality. He balks at our attempts to calm him and answers requests for payment with strange coins of questionable value. He needs to go. The Outlander is not a dignitary or traveling merchant. He is a parody of civilized behavior. He spews insults at the Emperor himself. So far, he has escaped the notice of any higher officials. Perhaps he was mistaken for an actor in a troupe, but that will not last. If he is reported, the Lotus Assassins will take notice. They'll want to know if he was harbored or his offense was encouraged. Guilt by association is enough for them. That's what's so infuriating. He doesn't respond to reason. He proposes challenges we don't understand, and then declares himself the winner. Several of our brightest have faced him, but as soon as they get the better of him, he sets off his strange firework and says they are beaten. Normally, the peasants like it when we intellectuals are maligned, but they tire of his presence too. Getting rid of this nuisance will endear you to many. I hope your ability matches your conviction. Several others have fallen short, despite their outrage at his antics. He is in the Scholar's Garden, and no amount of opposition has moved him. Please, I hope you will prove to be a worthy opponent.
Lost, citizen? This district? Well, it's called the Golden Way for a variety of reasons. Certainly one of the richer areas of the city, and one of the best looking as well. This district is a major thoroughfare, with the Scholar's Garden at one end and the Market District at the other. There's also the Necropolis, but most people avoid that place. Who wants to spend time with the dead? Be about your business and stay out of trouble. Pleasure to be of service.
The busy streets are almost overwhelming. It is hard to keep focused on what we need to do.
I didn't expect you in your strange training to make it to the Imperial City. You are proving to be a very interesting person. Of course, I could tell that just by looking at you. You have a very strong presence. As the Heavenly Lily, I am above suspicion, but I am restrained by fawning servants. Silk Fox can go anywhere, and people are not shy about their reactions. There is a thrill, of course, and it allows me to find information useful to us both. Death's Hand brought your Master Li to the palace a few days ago. I saw the flyer. He was bound in chains. He must be powerful, or you are. There was something familiar about him as well. Why would you say that? Is that what he told you? I'm sorry, but I simply cannot believe that your Master Li is the glorious strategist. I was too young to know him. I was told that he and Prince Qin, the third brother, fell defending the Empire 20 years ago. Now it seems they may have been traitors. I discovered this looking through records for information on Death's Hand. Perhaps he tried to influence Sun Li and Sun Qin before corrupting my father. But it doesn't matter who your master is. I could take you to the palace, but Death's Hand controls what my father hears. He must be discredited for you to succeed. Death's Hand has almost total control over my father. We must find conclusive evidence of his crimes and reveal his corruption. And I know how. Construction on the wall has stopped for the first time in generations. The workers now toil in factories building powerful creatures of stone and clay called golems. Death's Hand could use these automatons to seize the Empire, and my father is oblivious. We must infiltrate the Lotus Assassins and find evidence of this treachery. My father may have approved the factory without considering what it could be used for. If we just tell him my suspicions, he will dismiss them. We need proof of Death's Hand's intent from the seat of his power, the Lotus Assassin Fortress. It would be impossible to assault, so just walk in. They are Have any Lotus Assassins who saw your face lived to report back? I doubt it. They will not recognize you as the person who fought them in Tian's Landing. They have a vague description full of guesswork that has guards holding people at random. Besides, they expect an attack, not someone trying to catch their eye. I would wager that you may profit from their tasks too. Can you see the beauty in using their own methods of recruitment to fight them? I think they deserve it. There are guilds within the Lotus Assassins. Executioners look for fearsome warriors. Inquisitors are more subversive, and they look for cunning in their agents. If you prove yourself in the arena, they will notice you. My people can spread rumors of your interest. The Executioner will take a real interest when you finish the silver round. Or if you prefer, the Inquisitor recruiter is also seeking new people. He might be open to persuasion. Death's Hand rules over the Lotus Assassins, so I take special interest in their activities. I've had most of my life to ask questions. You suspect my motives? You have no reason to doubt me. If I wanted the Lotus Assassins to find you, I could simply tell them your name. Yes, I will have my people spread rumors of your interest. Once you pass the silver round, the Executioner will take an interest. I'm sure he will find you as impressive as I do. Or, if you prefer, court the Inquisitor. Ask Scholar Dong Gao in the Scholar's Garden about him. I hear Dong Gao is closer to the Assassins than he should be. I will wait at your flyer. Or I could travel with you. Before you get too lost, perhaps we should, discuss how closely we will be working together? Of course. I look forward to it.
Yes? I like to think that we can take time to talk about important things. I don't want to seem ungrateful for her help, but having Silk Fox here is causing me some concern. I mean, she is the daughter of the Emperor, and we do not know his role in Master Li's capture. Can she be trusted? To you, perhaps, but not to me. I think I am perceived as a rival, but no one has told me what the game is. The princess? The daughter of the Emperor is jealous of me? I think the size of our task has addled your senses. What could I possibly have that would make her jealous? What does a woman from the borderlands have that the princess herself does not? What? I'm sorry. You caught me off guard for a moment. You have always been a good friend to me, but I never meant... I mean, I couldn't... No. No, I should have more control over this. This is too uncertain. You can't manipulate me into admitting something like this. Not when you can leave whenever you want. I prefer to have more control over myself, and as much control over what goes on around me as possible. Silk Fox, or whatever she wants to be called, is an unknown I can't compensate for. I can't stay in balance if I don't know what she represents. You and I, we talk and share thoughts, but she forces me to consider where that might lead, both good and bad. I'm not ready for that. I suppose it does. Strange that you are becoming more adept at reading my moods than I am. I think we will have a great deal more to discuss in the coming days. I'm looking forward to it. Until then, thank you for being so understanding. Master Li was right. You are special. Don't go too far. I'd get lost in this city. I know it.
Well, look who we have here. There's no princess to save you this time.
Do you think we'd forget? You can't humiliate us and just walk away. We'll teach you to insult a guard of the Imperial City. Staff!
Welcome, friend. The lecture won't be starting for a little while, though your enthusiasm is appreciated. I wouldn't worry about seating. Those interfering philosophers had made sure that very few people will be attending the lecture. What? That's quite a question. I'm not sure who told you, but I'd appreciate it if you would keep your voice down when asking those kinds of questions. Nobody here suspects me to be anything but an overzealous scholar, and I'd like to keep it that way. So you want to know about the recruiter? You have a flying machine, do you not? Yes, I know about that. Go back to the landing area and someone will meet you there. The location is public, yet relatively private. Common folk are not welcome on the landing area, so there will be no crowds to hide spies, or an ambush. If the Lotus Assassins wanted you dead, your life would be over before you even knew you were in danger. I don't think so. I've already told you what you need to know. I'm not about to risk being discovered just to make you feel at ease.
Well, we got what we wanted. I just hope you know what you're getting into. We should head back to the Dragonfly and let the others know what's happening.
Do not be fooled by those who would tell you that studying is the key to true enlightenment.
Lost, citizen? The Scholar's Garden is a quiet place. Quiet until a pair of the scholars break out into a debate, that is. Certainly a lot of knowledge being thrown around this place. I'll let you decide for yourself how much of it is worthwhile. Be about your business and stay out of trouble. Pleasure to be of service.
Hello there, traveler. Forgive my forwardness, but I noticed your arrival earlier while I was at the tavern. That flying machine of yours is truly a marvel. I actually have a design for a new prototype flyer, and I hope to get funding to build it one day. The other scholars aren't interested in my inventions, though. Me? You want to ask me something? Well, sure, I'd be glad to help you if I can. What would you like to know? Oh, I'm Scholar Zenyu. I'm one of the newer scholar elites. I was actually born in the poor quarter, but my uncle brought me here when I was only 10. He knew I would never have a chance at a real life unless I had some proper schooling. I've lived here with him ever since. Now there's a question you don't hear very often. Not too many people like to talk about him. In fact, if I were you, I'd be careful who I ask. I'm not one to believe in superstitious nonsense, but I still wouldn't want to draw his attention. He's very powerful and very dangerous. Some people even suggest that he has gained some control over our honorable emperor. I find it hard to believe, but I suppose it's possible. A city like this always has rumors. Some people say the ghosts are angry and attacking innocent people. Another rumor suggests the emperor is dying. But I wouldn't believe any of that. Just because the emperor hasn't been seen in a while doesn't mean he's ill. Perhaps he just wants some solitude. The Emperor is a wise and powerful man. How else could he have solved the drought so many years ago? I wasn't born then, but I've heard the stories. It's true that he hasn't been seen much recently, but I don't think it's anything to worry about. It's not like the Empire is falling apart in his absence. Maybe he's just taking a rest from all the hard work he's done. Nobody deserves a rest more than the Emperor. I think they are just rumors. I haven't seen any ghosts at all, angry or otherwise. If the ghosts are angry about something, why aren't they here right now? Come to think of it, I don't know any one person who's ever seen a ghost. I prefer to spend my time and energy on things that are real. Designing a new prototype flying machine, now that's important. Sure, what would you like to know? All right then, goodbye.
Osansiatsuno go boko. Koni uk noia kup sa ia sisia su ukot. Pakeni wa kawane ya. Awuth utkuo wo kokopia kawa ya elwo. Wasrafno sositu no ko ota napia ifa ya ok. Wo kupketita sumpono? Sathwa kawa ia ifiak? Wo so awi ia ni tu wo uk sumpono. Kutkosi wiwa ia, wo nawa ia ifa wia o ta wikino. Koni uk noia kup sa ia sisia su ukot. O ifo ia uk sonkop noko isansia. Ni upa ia kupu sa ia awath kraka ia nano uksaro isowak nikano wo napia shathia uko. Awath utkua wo kokopia kawa ia elwoth. Wakawe ya tanke ya nano wo ya wasonak. Uksa iespithu ki ukoniero thakno. Uksa ia ifratsa ia thosopanirania. Kawaii ia a ithino nahipi no faitea. Wasrafno. Yowea sonsi ya wo yowea kon ompefifia.
Greetings and welcome to the Scholar's Garden. I am Philosopher Xiao, one of the many masters you will see here during your visit. I see by your accoutrements that you are not from the Imperial City. I hope your visit here is one of fulfillment and success. As sagacious Tian once said, more valuable than silk are new friends in a foreign land. If you need anything, I will be glad to assist you. As sagacious Tian once said, kind words and respectable attire are seldom a sign of true character. Only deeds reveal the intent of the soul. I am glad to help you in any way I can. I am honored that you would ask me, though I must warn you, the teachings take a lifetime to learn and cannot be taught in a day. Perhaps I could explain the core principles of Tian's teachings. I could recite the history of Tian if you like. The teachings of sagacious Tian are very simple, but the implications are astoundingly complex. At the heart of the teachings are the concepts of harmony and discord. Also referred to as the way of the open palm and the way of the fist, one cannot exist without the other, but neither can they coexist in one person. Harmony with the world comes from understanding your place in the world. An ant that believes it is a tiger will never achieve harmony. In other words, accepting your place in the world and using your skills accordingly is the optimal way of following the path of harmony. Discord is the other side of the coin. People who choose the path of discord seek their own advancement over everything else. These people will ignore the world and use whatever means necessary to raise themselves above their station. Sagacious Tian taught both harmony and discord to his students, for one cannot be fully known without the other. However, he himself followed the way of harmony. Sagacious Tian was the first emperor of the Jade Empire. He was a philosopher and a leader without compare, unifying the warring factions of his time. His teachings founded this great empire, though there was very little written about Tian himself. We do know that he brought peace to the people of the empire, and since that time, his teachings have guided hundreds of generations of followers. Of course. What would you like to know? The Scholar's Garden is the seat of learning in the Jade Empire. The philosophers and scholars who live here dedicate their lives to the pursuit of wisdom. The scholars are dedicated to unlocking the secrets of the physical world. Many still follow the teachings of sagacious Tian, though some take their studies too far. I am certainly not opposed to their ways of study. Indeed, the scholars have made many wonderful and important discoveries. We philosophers dedicate our lives to the study and teaching of the ways of sagacious Tian. We believe in peace and harmony and balance. Many find it difficult to grasp the significance or usefulness of our studies, but we assist anyone willing to learn the ancient teachings. Of course. What would you like to know? I am afraid I would not be the best person to ask, but there are others to whom I could direct you. You could ask young scholar Zenyu. He spends a good deal of time in the city enjoying worldly pursuits, though he does not think his masters know it. There is also a man named Bai who works near the Imperial Arena. He is renowned for his knowledge of the city. As you wish. With luck, the winds of heaven will bring us together again one day. Farewell.
As amusing as your savage dances are, once again I have proven the superiority of setting your nose to the grindstone and not mucking about. Now bring some refreshments in a proper mug, or I'll take back the coins of my home and country. Don't you heathens know the worth of a proper king's halfpenny?
Generous visitor, if our customs are so displeasing to you, perhaps you should find lodging elsewhere?
Please? And leave you lot to your primitive ways? Tell them what I think of that, Squire Percival.
Sir Roderick Ponce von Fontelbottom, the magnificent bastard, will do no such thing. He means to educate you all.
Good lad. Found him wading in the mud, planting weeds. You can't keep your crackers crisp doing that. God help you if you don't know the horror of a soggy biscuit. I've given him dignity, and unless one of you has the will to deny that I'm your better, I suggest you start learning. We'll have you in proper trousers by the morrow. Oh, what's that? Someone stepping to the fore? Let's have a look at you. Ah, you look quick with your fists, but I'll wager your head falls behind. Too much time slapping each other, and not enough time strapped to a desk in a decent classroom. The simple truth is that I have bested every one of you who has come forward, whether in tests of wit or combat. You faced a champion of king and country. Now, I didn't ask to land here, but if a storm is going to cast my ship into the very heart of such a dark empire, I'll bring the light of knowledge wherever I can. You must hunger for guidance. You're like children. I mean, only a handful of you can even grow a decent moustache. What kind of place is this? Can you now? Shall we put that to a test? I welcome the chance that you might impress me with a glimmer of intelligent insight. But I will acknowledge that I am likely to disagree just because I know you are, lacking. We will need educated men to judge the merits of our arguments. I've gone to great pains to learn your barbaric tongue, only to find that none of you has much to say. Can you convince me otherwise? I've heard a distinct lack of couplets and quatrains, to say nothing of pentameters. Is it any wonder you people live as you do? I charge you with defending the heart of your people. If a group of judges determines that you have adequately done so, I will declare you the winner. Whoever you wish. These five, standing here. I'm sure there will be a balance of opinion. The test must be fair. Go on, talk to them all to prove I haven't coerced them. We'll begin the debate when you're ready. Then we'll see how you fare in combat. Doubt you'll do very well. Like the rest, you're all just too damn skinny.
I heard you accept the Outlander's challenge. I'm grateful you have seen fit to defend us all. I would be honored to sit in judgment of the debate. Several of my fellow scholars have also volunteered. To do otherwise would only help the Outlander win in the long run. If he wants a true debate, we will allow it to progress fairly. Of course, I doubt his arguments will have the weight that he expects. Not here in the heart of the Jade Empire. I am ill-equipped to see my own faults, but I, like my fellow scholars, am adept at exploiting the weaknesses of others. Scholars Heng and Zhao are easily swayed with simple facts. Cite such details, and they are certain to change their opinion either for or against. The best course is to appeal to the individual preferences of the judges. We are theoretical thinkers, really. It is not so much the subject, but the tactic that triggers reaction. Each judge will respond only to argument styles they favor. If a judge likes fact, use it once and he will join your side. Use it again and he will switch back just to further debate. Other arguments may not interest him at all. I wish you luck. I look forward to your defense of the Empire.
Well, ready to set the ponies in motion, are we? Let's declare some rules and get to it. You don't mind if I make this interesting, do you? Good. Don't want to set you off your game, but I thought we should ensure that the process was more entertaining than a simple checklist of virtue. It will be a simple matter. 5 judges, 6 topics. I'll pose my argument about why your foolish land stumbles like a child, and you try to answer. The judges will raise their arms to indicate whom they favor. Arms up for you, arms down for me. After 6 topics, if you have a majority, you are the winner. By the Queen's corset, if you get them all on your side at any time, I'll declare the match over. Now, shall we proceed? I will pull no punches, and I expect no mercy on your part. Let's see which of us is truly superior. Well, what shall be my first point of contention? I know, the most basic of concerns for a culture, the currency of its economy. What manner of society would use the silver coin as the basis of trade? Gold is clearly superior, which you admit by using it for important statuary. Your understanding of what determines value is flawed. Your rebuttal? Well, you are clearly in the minority, but I can spare no quarter. To the next topic. I call attention to the arrogance of your empire. You simply assume that all lands outside your borders are the domain of barbarians and monsters. How can you truly know they are uncivilized until you've proven it by conquest? Crush them beneath your heel. You sit here thinking while far-off lands yearn for direction, not unlike what I am attempting with you. Well, a majority on your side, but the debate is not over yet. Shall I draw attention to your foolish reliance on personal combat? You've got strange dragon powder arms, but you waste them on spectacle and flying chariots. Any decently civilized people would have developed a proper array of personal sidearms by now, like old Mirabelle here. Well, a majority on your side, but the debate is not over yet. I challenge your foolish beliefs and the irrational behaviors they produce. Dragons, spirits, and even talk of unresting dead. Just look at the collective foolishness that you call a floating palace. The constant superstitious yammering of your peasants even has me seeing it. And how the bloody hell would you get a moat up there? It's ridiculous, I say. Well, a majority on your side, but the debate is not over yet. I say that you don't seem to understand the relationship between the ruling class and the peasantry. Your commoners are far too happy to be productive. A proper spiral of misery shows that they are doing a decent day's work. Your peasants only suffer because of foolish superstitions about the dead walking around. Well, you are clearly in the minority, but I can spare no quarter. To the next topic. This will be the final topic. If you don't have a majority at the end of this round, you will have to admit that I have outdone you. A simple criticism, your ridiculous clothes. Not a decently puffed pair of trousers to be seen. I ask you, what have you done on the pantaloon front? And why do you remain so clean when any sane man knows the only way to keep devils of the dark at bay is to be brash and to carry the air of the earth? Bathing is bad for the humors as well. Do you people know nothing of maintaining your bile? Well, it would seem that a majority of your fellows have decided your arguments were more persuasive. I expected no less. I could not expect a fair contest in the heart of your city. I was a fool to think otherwise. I seek satisfaction. You have bested me in debate, but true honor is decided on the dueling field. The entry hall here has walls to be up against, corners to be backed into, and floor enough on which to be down but not out. Whatever your metaphor, I'll beat it. Return to me when you are ready, and we will walk there together, just to ensure that no one gets lost or suffers an accident that would prevent a fair fight. Frankly, I don't know what you people are capable of. What? Good! Let's get this over with so I can return to schooling the rest of your fellows. I envy you. You're about to experience for the first time the skill that has forged an empire and traveled the world. There will be pain as well, but I imagine it will be almost worth it. That was a fine display of skill.
It was a fair fight, Sir Roderick. Within the rules you specified.
Yes, old boy, you've got it right. I was really sat down, I believe. Like the fall of the old bridge across the Grand. My humours are in disarray, I tell you. I suppose I should have seen it coming. Your win in the debate was a sure sign. I do believe I have underestimated the lot of you. Regardless, you have beaten me. That's a point of honor I cannot deny. Well, there's no other thing for it. Intended or not, you've earned a reward from me. The unsuccessful combatant in a duel must arrange a worthy gift for the victor. I wouldn't be much of an ambassador for my country if I didn't abide by its customs. The Duchess of Almsbottom's rules of engagement are quite clear on this matter. A manual of regimented conditioning will serve you well. Red meat, constitutionals, and union suit calisthenics. You're never so fit as when the johns are long. Right, first of all, fluff my travelling trousers. We will darken this garden no more.
You have secured a great victory for the Empire. The Outlander has to respect us now.
A well-fought victory against that Outlander buffoon. You showed that he could not best us in battle, mentally or physically. We are all in your debt, but the Ministry of Culture is particularly so. Please take this token sum of silver as payment. You certainly earned it. Your service is appreciated. If only there were more like you in the Empire.
You have completely routed the Outlander. I commend you on your masterful intellect and martial skills.
To attain peace, harmony, and balance is to discover true wealth.
You are gaining many friends in this city, my friend. Defeating the Outlander in a debate and in combat is quite an accomplishment. No doubt the philosophers are somewhat less impressed with your feats of physical prowess. I, for one, think your skills are quite remarkable. Certainly. We can't learn without asking questions. How can I help you today? Don't let the name fool you. There are fewer scholars here than you might think. We are far outnumbered by those obstinate philosophers. The philosophers believe that the gods dictate everything, from the rising of the sun to the changing seasons. If the summer ends too soon or too late, the gods must be angry. Of course, anyone who cares to look can see that the birds control the weather. I have noted with some accuracy that the birds predict the seasons. I have a theory that the massive movements of birds in the autumn and spring actually cause the prevailing winds to change direction. When birds fly south just before autumn, they cause the winds to change. And we get cold air from the north until the spring, when the birds reverse the winds again. It's really quite simple, but just try telling that to one of the philosophers. Don't get me wrong, I like most of the philosophers, but their strict adherence to aging traditions makes them very difficult to deal with. They're always preaching about peace and harmony. Really, we kill and subdue the creatures of this world in order that we can survive. Where's the peace in that? Can a man survive long enough without eating meat? What about the grains we use to make our bread, or the hides we use for any number of things? We consume constantly. Peace and harmony are wonderful ideals, but in nature only the strong survive, and they don't do it by being peaceful. I'm glad you asked. Today I will speak on my theories of cloud formation. That was my first major discovery, though it hasn't been widely accepted yet. The basic principles are really quite simple. I deduced after lengthy study that clouds are formed by the moisture escaping from our bodies. When the weather is cool, you can clearly see small clouds escaping from people's mouths. Similar clouds form on the skin of people working strenuously in the cold. These clouds of breath rise up and collect near the tallest peaks, where it is almost always cloudy. This was one of my finest discoveries. Oh, so soon. All right then. I hope to see you again soon. Perhaps I could explain to you my theories on the formation of ice crystals.
I greet you, sir. I wonder if you might have some silver to spare. I come from a very wealthy family. As such, I have a certain lifestyle to maintain. Parties, female admirers, lots of wine. You understand. I have to have an income, don't I? My father looked at my considerable expenses and told me to get my own silver. Of course, I am a noble. The shame of manual labor or the stink of trade must not be allowed to touch me, or even waft its way close to me. How could there be shame? You've got it and I want it. Should I steal it? Never. Simply ask like a civilized soul, I say. I am afraid I cannot do that. That would be trade, and I simply will not sully my beautifully soft hands with such. I will tell you for free, however. I read all the greatest philosophers and consulted with wise men before reaching this decision. I assure you the philosophical underpinnings are quite sound. Wisdom is only gained by experience, wine, women, and song, as it were. But a life of revel with no reflection still does not lead to true wisdom. One must ponder, one must daydream. Even if I could bear the shame of sullying my hands with work, when would I think? How could I grow wise? Well, it loses some of the subtlety when you put it that way. But yes. I thank you. It's not easy for one such as I. I have it far more difficult than the impoverished beggars of this city. Farewell.
Oh dear, this won't do. Oh, hello. I'm sorry, I was just muttering to myself. I'm in some trouble and... Wait! You could help me! You're clearly not from around the Imperial City, and I need someone's help most desperately. Someone unaffected by the politics of this place. Well, you see, there's been a mix-up. No, an error. Oh, who am I kidding? Some bastard has changed my play! I am Incisive Chorus, the playwright. I'm sure you've heard of me. And if not, you have... now, I suppose. One of my productions has been touring the countryside and catching people's attention. We were asked to bring it into the city and perform here in the Golden Way. The play must go on, but not as they want it. The play's been changed, you see. One very key piece of the play has been rewritten. Once you change this scene, you change the very soul of the production. It's hardly my play at all if they perform it their way. They've changed it from a commentary of man's inhumanity to man to a satire of the Empire. I tell you truthfully that they've lost the whole point of the piece. A like-minded island amidst a sea of dolts. Oh dear, that was a poor metaphor. The point stands, regardless. I'm certain the Lotus Assassins would blame me for the satire. I will gladly offer you the going rate for a leading man, just for a walk-on part. I need you to take a role in the play and read the role the, original way. You have a most regal bearing, so I'd expect you'd have no major problems at any rate acting the role of Lady 14 Flowers.
I think you should do it. You'd make a wonderful Lady 14 Flowers.
If you talk to first-degree thespian Fong up by the pagoda, tell him you're the replacement actor. He'll be desperate, so all you'll have to do is read the proper lines. Of course, all the roles are played by men, or at least women with the decency to pose as men playing women. It can get complex sorting it all out. Here's a copy of the original script for your scene. Pivotal, I assure you. This copy reads properly, not like that edited pile of dung. Hurry over to the large pagoda overlooking the Golden Way and tell Fong that you're the replacement. They won't wait forever, so step quickly to it. Remember, you'll have to memorize your lines. No script on stage, of course. Also, make sure you read from this script. Now, good... No, you're about to perform, so I shan't jinx it. Get to it!
Excuse me. You're in my way, and I'm trying to keep an eye out for our replacement actor. You? You're the replacement? Well, why aren't you in costume? If you're going to be playing Lady 14 Flowers, you'll need your dress. There's no time for you to run back and get yours. I'm sure we can find one to fit in the back, though most of our performers are less broad. Did they give you a copy of the script when they sent you over here? Let me see that. No. This is all wrong. They sent you with the old script. Bloody Actors Guild is staffing itself with water buffaloes, I tell you. Here, have it back. The script's recently been revised, so even if you're familiar with the old version, read it again for the changes before you head on stage. Well, a southern noble funded the location and travel for us, but wanted to make a few tweaks. We couldn't afford to miss the exposure. Our writer wasn't that happy, but we accepted the revisions, and here we are. I'm sure your Actors Guild told you that we have standard rates. We'll happily pay you the going rate for lead, especially since this is short notice. Ruin your scene and you get nothing, just like normal. Understand? Just get at least half the lines correct and the crowd will figure out what's happening. Any less than that, and it becomes one of those obscure plays no one likes. Now, read that script over. Come talk to me when you've got it, and we'll get you into final costume and onto the stage. Have you read the script? Do you feel one with Lady 14 Flowers yet? That's the spirit! Let's get you into the back and costumed up, Lady 14 Flowers.
Watch closely. We shall see if the informant was accurate.
Imagine, condemning the Jade Empire at its heart. The fools.
All of heaven's blessings guide him, but sagacious Tian has been absent from the palace for such a time. His conquests of the northern kingdoms have kept his light from us. All the scattered kingdoms have seen the light of his rule, and our emperor's advisors grow in number. The arable lands to the south, all the way to the useless jungles, which were left as nothing for the Monkey King, are fused into the mighty Jade Empire. To the east, sagacious Tian has spread his light to the very waters themselves, and lo, to the west he found enlightenment among the hills of the 6 holy scrolls. But what word from the wastes of the Horse Lords? Aha! What is this? Why, 'tis Lady 14 Flowers. We can only hope she brings word. My dearest Lady 14 Flowers, under what banner does your entourage travel today? Peace in the north? Could this be? Have all the Horse Lords been subjugated so easily? Heaven smiles upon the Empire today. Your arrival here is certainly welcome, as your kingdom is one of the most recent to join the Jade Empire. We have had word that the hostilities have ceased. Tell me, most gracious lady, when was this momentous decision reached? You phrase that most interestingly, Lady 14 Flowers. Why do I sense there is more to this story? But surely the might of the Jade Empire is unquestionable, and our will to victory unswayed. And tell me, most gracious madam, when the final blow was struck, where was our noble leader? Deep in the wastes of the north? Surely you mean the far edge. The Horse Lord camp's broken behind him. There's been nothing but the gentle drafts of spring here in the Imperial City for weeks. With such a chill in the air, was this some time ago? My lady, I sense that there is more to your story than I have gleaned. Perhaps my own perceptions blind me. It seems to me that some part of your story remains untold. Do my questions block the truth? Tell me this, if nothing else, good lady. When the cry for peace rose up, who was it that our great emperor turned to? The heavens had turned to him? These words, are they riddles? Wait, what word is this from the front? The Emperor sends word of his return. The Horse Lords are unconquered, but our forces were undefeatable. What happened to cease the expansion of the Empire, dear lady? A celestial event, most auspicious. And so, our most noble Emperor saw a sign from the heavens. Our mighty armies poised to crush the Horse Lords and stretch the Empire to the ends of the earth. But we stopped. For now, even I see that there are limits to ambition, and overreaching those limits invites nothing but disaster. All praise the Emperor, for his wisdom is infinite. My lady, you have my deepest thanks for bringing this news to us. I shall inform the court immediately.
What in the dragon's eye was that? I saw no treason there. Oh, the informant will suffer for a lifetime.
You there, Lady 14 Flowers. The crowd loved it. Fantastic performance. You managed to hit every line perfectly.
At least we know you'll have something to fall back on if our other endeavors fail.
Our sponsor may not be happy with the version you read, but I've always preferred the old version of the play anyway. I guess Incisive Chorus put you up to this, because I know I gave you the new script to study. Good for him. I believe I owe you an actor's fee. Enjoy. I'm glad you were here to fill in. We would have sunk faster than a bottomless boat without a solid Lady 14 Flowers on hand. Rather fun. Now I know you're not one of the guild actors. They're never positive about anything. Oh well, no harm done, I'm sure. The performance wouldn't have gone on without you, professional actor or not. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have things I must attend to.
I hope you're not here to pester me. I'm a very busy, important, and educated man, you know. All manner of studies. The history of dramatic systems, applied theology, and, celestial integration. All of these are vital pursuits of knowledge. Not that you would understand such lofty matters. Well, you see, drama can be broken down into several systems, and I study the history of those systems over time, how they've changed, and that sort of thing. Well, there's the new system, of course, but everyone knows that. Then we have the, old system, which, as you may surmise, is no longer in use. That's a brief summary of my latest work, at any rate. Oh, it's all very complex, and I really don't feel like describing it to you at any length. That's how you know I'm a scholar, you see. An unwillingness to share all the information I have. Well, there's the new system, of course, but everyone knows that. Then we have the, old system, which, as you may surmise, is no longer in use. That's a brief summary of my latest work, at any rate. Too large a subject for your mind to comprehend, I'm sure. Oh, I doubt it. You don't look the type for heavy reading. You're far too fit to be properly read. Of course, none of my books are published yet, but as a scholar and a respected one, I will most certainly pen some marvelous books someday. Well, yes. Unless your theories are astoundingly brilliant, which is the case with me. Of course not! I'm... Ah, drat. This isn't working at all. How did you know? You're here to hunt me down, then. Lord Rento has it in for me, and I figured it would come to this. I don't suppose running would do me any good. I was unjustly accused. I simply petitioned Lady Rento for some silver to support me as an actor. Patronage, it's called. She agreed, but her husband flew into a rage when he found out, and now I have a death sentence on my head. It's not fair. And if you were a decent person, you'd help me get out of this city instead of taking me in. It's the only way I'll get clear of Lord Rento's wrath. You need more proof than my pathetic attempt to pose as a scholar? How about the fact that Lord Rento was out of town when I bilked him? Not that anyone but Lady Rento will confirm that for you. Still, it should be apparent that I'm not some great confidence man. We should go see Captain Sen right away if you're sure. Is now a fair time to go down to the gate to get me out of here? The only easy way out of this city is through the gate that Sen is guarding, and he's looking for me. However, if I disguise myself as a mercenary and sneak past him, I might just get away, but you have to help me by distracting him. Just tell him that I've already escaped, and I'll get away just fine. I can't imagine what might go wrong.
Citizen, I hear there is progress in the search for creative Yukon. A scholar ran out of the Scholar's Garden after talking to you. Tell me you have good news.
How did he get past me? He couldn't access a flyer. What is that man doing?
Are you certain he's gone? Would a bit of silver jog your memory? What do you say? Look at that tart swinging her hips for that mercenary. I can't see how Yukon slipped past us. Did he bribe one of my agents somehow? Well, the Imperial Army has more silver than some confidence man, if you take my meaning. Well, if you say so. Despite Lord Rento's insistence to the contrary, I doubt he was a master criminal. Perhaps I'll just declare Yukon's bounty a dead matter. Is there anything else that the Imperial Army can do for one of our fine citizens? I know little more than what the Honorable Lotus Assassin presented. Some treasonous southerner has been undermining the Ministry of Harmony and causing countless deaths. The Lotus Assassins are never worried. Their control, their protection, I should say, of the Empire is absolute. What could threaten them? Not as such. The Lotus Assassins want to deal with this traitor personally. I don't envy anyone who has attracted that kind of attention. There is no such thing. If the Lotus Assassins have identified a treasonous criminal, you can be assured that person is guilty of something, or will be soon. Right you are. Remember to keep an eye out for anyone suspicious.
I
tribesmen have been attacked and forced to flee. Nobody is safe from this criminal.